what made you choose court interpreting versus, say, medical interpreting? Do you do both? I'm just curious.
I don't do medical interpreting. I do work as a sworn translator as well. So I provide certified translations, and some of them have been medical in the past. But with interpreting, I'm just keeping it for now because yeah, it's all quite recent. I just started that service doing the court interpreting. Well, basically, I think the biggest reason is that I got influenced by my own dad because he's been a court interpreter for over 30 years now.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, for a very long time. So I've like always been following him and his work, and like yeah, always been very close to his way of working. And I was very fascinated by how easily he could switch between the different languages. And yeah, already as a child, I thought it was very impressive, and I would like to see myself doing that job as well one day. And then when I had to apply for university, I couldn't really choose between law and European studies. And in the end, I chose European studies, which I'm very happy about. But now that I finished this course on court interpreting, I found out that I find like the legal system, criminal law, all those subjects like super interesting. So I was like, maybe I should have gone for law, but yeah, it's never too late. So
Sure.
definitely my interest in the legal system, the legal terminology as well. It's very interesting. So I would say both my interest in law itself and the influence of my father. Yeah.
That's awesome. So keeping it in the family, another generation of
Yeah, yeah,
court interpreting.
totally.
And I think, talking a little bit about interpreting in general,
Hmm.
it's an art form,
Yeah.
and I think part of it's, language, there's a reason they call language arts is because
Hmm.
there's a certain way of, like you said earlier, expressions, emotions, things that need to be articulated
Hmm.
correctly, especially not just in legal and everything, but in a
Yeah.
court, you can imagine it's important that that gets transmitted. So
Yeah.
can you tell me a little bit about what you like about interpreting, and do you agree that there's an art form to it?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely an art form, and I hate it most when people say like, "Why do you need an interpreter? Like, I can call my sister or anyone who speaks the language, and she can help me out." But I think that in order to become an interpreter, you need a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, and also talent, because I think it's a job that not everyone can do. And you need to be ready to suffer. Like for me, it took almost 2 years to finish this whole course. And as I said before, I had to do like 4 theoretical exams that were very hard as well. I had to study like all legal systems of all different countries. And yeah, it took a lot of time, but it was interesting at the same time. So that kept me motivated. So yeah, I would say it's like also crucial when trying to become an interpreter to also work with a professional trainer. Like in this case, my dad helped me a lot, but it was in my case very hard to find study materials, because when you're interpreting, you need to listen to someone and you need to interpret it. So whether it's the consecutive or the simultaneous one, you need to have someone who speaks and understands the language and maybe improves you. And it was very hard in my case. So yeah, definitely I would advise someone to get a coach or a trainer, someone who works with that non-native language.
That's good.
Yeah.
Get a good advice. I think that's a great suggestion. And you need the experience and the practice of
Mhm.
listening and being
Yes.
heard too, because you may think you
Yeah.
sound great, and then all of a sudden you hear it back and it's like, oh wow, I had no idea
Yeah.
that I had
Yeah.
those kind of little ticks or whatnot. So it's helpful to have that feedback from
Yes.
other native
Totally.
speakers.
Totally.
Could you maybe share some of the milestones that you kind of touched on it already, but
Mhm.
that you've accomplished to get to where you're at today? You mentioned some good suggestions, but what was the trajectory of your progress? Obviously, your father was a big influence. That's a great asset.
Mhm.
But throughout your growth and your progression, were some key moments that you identified that helped you get to where you're at today?
Mhm. Sure. So, yeah, I think my biggest milestone right now is definitely this one, that I finally passed this exam, and I would like to connect that with this, my last LinkedIn post that I posted there, because I'm very active on LinkedIn. I think it's a great, social media platform for networking and for professionals. And it's not being used the way it should by youngsters like me. Like most of the people, like my friends and everyone, they're not using LinkedIn. And I think it's a pity, because it's a great way to meet new people and clients as well. But to connect that to my milestones, so last week I posted about finishing this exam, and I really didn't expect this much support of people, and my post got like over 70,000 views, which I still today cannot believe, because I thought, just upload that I finished it. But I got so many nice messages from people supporting me, so that was really motivating.
Sure.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And it's
so
amazing how you really don't change what you do. It's just certain topics really hit home, and people, are attracted to it. Because sometimes, I always look at different individuals that have like viral content. Their content really hasn't changed, and you can see other content that doesn't have as many, maybe a fraction of views, but it's just something about certain posts that people just really like, and you just don't know. So it's kind of impressive to have it.
Yeah, it really depends. It's just people posting quite often, just posting frequently, and then just 1 out of 10 or maybe even 100 that just like pops up and goes viral. So it's really magic of like posting often, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, this one's going to go for, since you already did 70,000, we're going to shoot for at least 100 for this 100,000.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
What trends have you seen throughout this time, which is kind of unprecedented? We can maybe say a year and a half almost with the pandemic. And what do you feel is going to continue post-pandemic? Like, that you've noticed locally or in other areas that you think are going to continue even after we finish with this pandemic?
My name is Emma Kosanovic, and I'm tuned in.
Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to smash that bell for notifications.